The Chevrolet Volt is the vehicle that will change the way you think about the driving experience. Simply put, Volt is an electric car. Plug it in, let it charge overnight, and it's ready to run on a pure electric charge for 25 to 50 miles, gas and tailpipe emissions free. After that, Volt keeps going even if you can't plug it in. Volt uses a range-extending onboard generator, which produces enough energy to power it for hundreds of miles on a single tank of gas. The battery can be recharged using either a standard 120-volt household outlet or a 240-volt charger. The electric drive unit delivers the equivalent of 150 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque. All of this torque is available instantly for responsive performance. Volt can even reach speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. It's exciting after watching years of development to actually be standing next to the Volt in the studio. As you know, it has a revolutionary propulsion system, but you also need to remember that it is a great car on many levels. It's a front-wheel drive design with roughly the same dimensions as the Chevrolet Cruze. It has seating for 4 and can move you in style and keep you green at the same time. This is a beautiful car. Designers were intent on delivering a vehicle that struck a balance between styling and aerodynamic performance. Of course, how this vehicle performs in the wind tunnel and how it slips through the air on the highway has a great impact on its range and overall efficiency. The Volt fits perfectly in the Chevrolet lineup. It has crisp lines and clean surfaces, and it shares the look and feel of Chevrolet's DNA. Volt has a strong, well-planted stance with a tight wheel-to-body relationship, which gives it a feeling of a lower center of gravity and a feeling of driving control. At the front of the Volt, you'll immediately know that it's a Chevrolet. There's a prominent bow tie and a dual-port grille. It's a design shared with other Chevrolet vehicles like Cruze and Malibu. But there are definitely differences. As you look at the front of the Volt, there are at least a couple of things you probably haven't seen before. What do you notice?
Well, it seems like all the new Chevrolets have rounded aerodynamic front ends, but this looks different. There's a ground effects air dam below the front fascia. It looks as low as a Corvette. I guess they're taking aerodynamics seriously.
That's right. That ground effects feature is one of the lowest we've seen on a Chevrolet. And with that in mind, be sure and make note that Chevrolet will make a higher profile air dam available for customers who need a little more ground clearance. Both treatments make the Volt incredibly slippery. Engineers spent hours in the wind tunnel looking for an impressive coefficient of drag, and the result is remarkable. But they got to great aerodynamics with more than just a smooth front end. What do you notice about the grille?
Well, there aren't any openings. It's completely closed. I'm guessing they did that to affect the aerodynamics. It's different than any other grille I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes the whole design work together. The lowered flush front fascia flows into the grille, keeping the air moving and attached to the surface to cut down on turbulence. It's similar to what designers did with the grille on the Cruze high mileage Eco model, which is open at low speeds and then automatically closes at highway speeds for better aerodynamics. Now on Volt, it's never open. On an electric vehicle, the grille is just another surface. It's not a vent for cooling. The Volt provides airflow to the generator through openings beneath the vehicle. At the front corners of the vehicle, you see large, distinctive, dual-bezel, halogen projector beam headlamps that wrap around the corners. LED daytime running lamps are standard. As we move to the side of the Volt, you'll see something you won't see on any other Chevrolet. It's the charge port, located just ahead of the driver's door. The port opens by touching a button on the inside of the driver's door or on the key fob. We'll tell you more about its operation when we look at the interior. The aerodynamic styling continues on the Volt with side mirrors that are designed to keep the air moving along the side of the vehicle. It's a beautiful profile. You can see a hollow sculpted shoulder line, which runs and dives slightly from the tail to headlamps. You also see another bit of Chevrolet DNA in the stretched upper daylight opening and a single arcing roofline. Like all Chevrolets, the refinement of fit and finish on Volt is center stage with minimal body gaps. Also note that the roof on every Volt is black, and we took a cue from the concept vehicle with black trim along the beltline. It's a unique look. One of the most impressive design statements on the Volt are the wheels. Engineers worked closely with Alcoa to create standard 17-inch forged, flow-formed aluminum wheels that are dramatically lighter than other wheels. Flow forming of this 5-spoke design allows a thinner rim section, which makes a big difference in weight savings. The Goodyear Fuel Max tires on the Volt were custom engineered to optimize EV range with extremely low rolling resistance. At the rear of the Volt, you see sharp edges and a purposefully designed spoiler, which allows the air to stay attached and then detach quickly at the rear to reduce drag. Volt also has distinct split rear tail lamps and an LED center high-mounted stop lamp.